This is a first video about the political and economic development course of the London School of Economics. This video has a version wide, and I really prefer that you read the paper. But my original language is Spanish, but go in English. We choose Argentina to explain the factors of development in this country. I am not an expert in Argentina, but it's a good country because it has many combinations, geographics, its original colonization system, his original migration, European migration, his conditions of his land, is very fertile land. For example, is the third producer in the world of soja, and the fifth producer of wheat and other cereals. Is the first producer in the world of the vacuum meat. But these conditions of the land and the migration are not enough to explain his development, because the other circumstances about other factors and institutions are not enough. For example, in geography, Argentina is not part of the tropical country that, given its geographic location, traditionally has overdevelopment. On the contrary, it is a country with seasons, fertile lands and coasts, and from a Gallup, Saxon, Mellinger perspective, generates competitive advantages. Argentina is the third world producer of soya, 5th in corn, and 10 in wheat, and is recognized as the best quality bovine meat producer in the world. Values in culture. These geographical advantages, along with the special migratory situation, generated to Argentina the conditions to become a developing country. Its cultural development, alphabetization, and European migratory influence can also be considered strengths. However, as we will see later, these possibilities were thrown away on behalf of other factors. Factors endowments. We have said that developing factors does not operate in an independent manner. Regarding the geographical advantage in the Argentinian case, some of its history and colonization form the unequal land distribution and the social and ethnic inequality in its origins as nation, masterfully described in the Martin Fierro de José Fernández book. During the 20th century, the history of Argentina varied among authoritarian regimes, dictatorships, and populist regimes, with a young democracy in the last decades. This has resulted in weak institutions. The weakness of political institutions is added to the weakness of economic institutions in the sense of Asimov and Robinson. The market instability, institutions such as the control change and the systematic devaluation caused the first 21st century crisis in 2003, described in Jeff Saxton and US documents among other analysts. 20 years later, other deep economic crises occurred with hyperinflation and unemployment figures, caused the defeat of the political left wing. Thus the weak questions: what happens first? The economic crisis causes the political crisis, or the political crisis causes the economic crisis? In our thesis, we affirm that the crisis of economic institutions is a consequence of the political institution crisis. In Argentina, the reactions towards the authoritarianism and inequity was the appearance of Peronismo, a sophisticated populist form described by Ernesto Laclau in his book, The Populist Reason. There is no time to go into detail, but we affirm that the populism as a strategy is a political instrument that, used by the political left or right wing, weakens democratic institutions and finally weakens the economic institutions. About the second questions, as is well known, the International Monetary Fund delivered development aid in the different crises in Argentina. However, the imposed conditions by the IMF implied an aggressive stoppage to the economic policies of subsidies and increase in the public expense. The austerity requirements in the expense, the elimination of price control, and other liberalization forms of the market resulted unmanageable to the left-wing governments, and its application aggravated the crisis. The reaction was the recent election of the right populist candidate, Javier Milei, whose draconian measures cannot yet be evaluated as it's too early for that, but without doubt will aggravate the social crisis. Thank you.